Streaming on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 at 10.
Tonight on News 6, victims of a travel scam getting a chance to see the suspect face to face. We were there when he was extradited back from California to Volusia County. Plus, a NASCAR legend and his family killed in a plane crash. How fans are remembering him as investigators look into the cause.
And less than a week after a death on the Stardust Racers roller coaster was deemed an accident, a woman is now suing Universal, the experience she says she had on the ride. Thank you for joining us tonight. We start with some breaking news. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. The chief of police in Providence, Rhode Island, says the man suspected of killing 2 people and wounding several others at Brown University has been found dead in Salem, New Hampshire.
Officials just wrapped up a press conference where they have identified Claudio Neves Valenti. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn has more.
After several days of appealing to the public for help, sources tell CBS News the man being sought as a suspect in the Brown University shooting is dead inside a Salem, New Hampshire storage unit. Officials now say they're looking into a connection between the shooting and the killing of a Massachusetts Institute of Technology professor 2 days later. Nuno Loureiro was fatally shot in his apartment in the Boston suburb of Brookline.
I think it's just really tragic and sudden, and especially this week too. It's just like a lot of really senseless violence.
Back in Providence, the community spent days on edge, worrying the shooter was still walking among them.
Brown felt incredibly safe, and that bubble of safeness was completely popped when we were violated by a shooter entering our campus. And I think it will take time and effort to be able to rebuild any sense of normalcy among students.
An early misstep in the investigation gave the suspect more time to disappear when an initial person of interest didn't pan out. Classes are canceled at Brown University for the rest of the semester. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, face-to-face with the man accused of defrauding more than 100 students for a trip overseas that never happened. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood met the man they say took the money at the airport when he arrived from California, and he wasn't the only one waiting for him.
News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell was there the moment it all went down.
As soon as Mr. Goodwin came down this escalator right here behind me, all eyes on him. It was not only Sheriff Chitwood who greeted him, but it was also a group of very upset Seabreeze High School students. A crowd made up of current and former students of Seabreeze High School, chanting as 56-year-old fraud suspect Robert Goodwin made his way down the escalator in handcuffs at the Daytona International Airport Thursday.
Robert, I'm Sheriff Chitwood. I'm the one who made this trip responsible for you. I think it's important that these people who you screwed over, you look them in the eyes. Because it's easy what you did, right? It's really hard to realize all these lives you affected.
Goodwin can be heard saying he's sorry for what happened.
I'm very sorry and innocent until proven guilty, and hopefully this will get fixed.
How are you going to fix it?
I can't say any more than that.
Goodwin then made his way out of the airport and into a patrol vehicle. Seabreeze High School parent Melissa Heller stood just feet away.
Explain how you're feeling right now. I am very upset, but I feel really good that we finally got justice. And while I didn't get back the $20,000 that he stole from us, seeing him here being put in that car just shows that it does pay off and they do get the bad guy.
The Volusia Sheriff's Office says Goodwin was arrested in September in California on charges he stole about $400,000 from 104 Seabreeze High School students and chaperones who thought they were paying his travel agency for a trip to Italy and Greece. Instead, weeks before, they were told there would be no trip and no refunds, as the travel agency was going out of business.
How would you explain how this ended up affecting you and your friends?
Well, we were going to go to Europe and have a great time, and we never got to go. It would have been a life-changing trip.
Seabreeze High School senior Charlie Buckmaster joined a group of his fellow students, sending their message to Goodwin.
What was it like seeing him come down the escalator?
It was the best moment, maybe of my life. His reaction when he came down, he got what he deserved.
We also met some members of the public who said they simply came out because they wanted to see this. Now, the sheriff's office has initially said that Goodwin will be held on a $4 million bond. At Daytona International, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Tonight, racing fans are remembering the life and legacy of former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. Biffle, along with 6 other people, including his 2 children and wife, died in a plane crash in North Carolina today. NASCAR naming Biffle one of the greatest drivers of all time and also known for his tireless humanitarian work. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides has the latest from Statesville, North Carolina.
Surveillance video captured the fiery crash as a business jet burst into flames while attempting to land at Statesville Regional Airport, about 45 miles north of Charlotte. The crash happened across from Brevin Renwick's home.
Very heart-wrenching to view, given that, lives were lost in that. So it's pretty hard.
The Cessna C550 took off from Statesville at 10:06 a.m., headed for Sarasota, Florida. 4 minutes into the flight, the jet turned back toward the airport and appeared it was attempting to land when it crashed through the woods, ran through a fence onto the tarmac. It was in the air for only 8 minutes. North Carolina State Patrol Officer Chris Knox.
We have confirmed that 7 occupants of this aircraft are deceased.
Killed in the plane crash were NASCAR star Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, and his 2 children, Emma, 14 years old, and 5-year-old Ryder.
Unimaginable for the families. I can't put myself in their shoes and come up with any words that describe the families that we've been in contact with today.
Biffle competed full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series from 2003 to 2016, driving primarily for Roush Fenway Racing and winning 19 races. In 2023, he was named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. Off the racetrack, Biffle was an experienced pilot who flew Fortune 500 companies and several NASCAR teams. Last year, after Hurricane Helene devastated parts of North Carolina, he flew relief missions to help survivors.
I just felt like if I don't go, who's going to?
The National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA are investigating the crash. Dennis Dutton, Jack Dutton, and Craig Wadsworth were also killed. NASCAR called the loss tragic, and in a joint statement from all 3 families, they said they were devastated and heartbroken beyond words. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Statesville, North Carolina.
Closer to home at Daytona International Speedway, fans are reacting to the awful news. News 6's Donovan Myrie caught up with a couple from New Jersey this afternoon.
And to find out that this happened, it's awful, just so sad.
Just feeling for his family, feeling for fans that loved him and watched him race back in the early 2000s, and just hoping that they can find some peace.
All right, time to change over to your forecast now as we look live at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. Some rain has been falling today, but it looks like pretty clear evening for us.
Let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who's tracking all of it for us. Jonathan.
Yeah, most of us nice and dry now, just kind of locked in the clouds. Really warm and pretty muggy for this time of the year as well if you've been outside recently. Right now, pretty much a nice clean sweep. The last little push of rain that we had exiting our coast from southwest to northeast tonight. Most of us went without seeing any kind of rain, but a few of us did get a few of those lighter showers, mainly along the northwest of I-4 and then right along the coast as we had a couple pour in earlier this afternoon. Mount Dora, we are at 68 right now, still at this hour, just after 10 o'clock tonight. We are at 75 degrees in Micco, back to the upper 60s in Groveland, 68 degrees in Leesburg as well. We're not moving much from this point. It's going to be a warm start tomorrow, another warm afternoon. It's going to continue that trend right on into Christmas. We're going to break down that 7-day forecast that now includes Christmas. It's a week from today, coming up at about 10:17, guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. A woman has just filed a lawsuit against Universal Orlando, claiming she was injured on the Stardust Racers roller coaster at Epic Universe. The lawsuit comes just days after sheriff's investigators concluded a man died accidentally after riding the same roller coaster. A North Carolina woman named Debbie Reinelt filed the lawsuit against Universal Orlando's parent company. She claims she sustained, quote, severe and permanent injuries while riding the Stardust Racers roller coaster in May, a few weeks before the official grand opening of Epic Universe. Now, this is at least the second lawsuit filed against Universal by visitors claiming they were injured on the Stardust Racers roller coaster. Court records show the first lawsuit involving a different visitor was settled just days after it was filed in September. The same Orlando-based personal injury attorney represents both of those plaintiffs, and the wording of the two lawsuits is very similar. Both injury lawsuits were filed after the death of 32-year-old Kevin Rodriguez Zavala. He was found unresponsive on the Stardust Racers roller coaster in September. Just last week, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a report concluding that Rodriguez Zavala died accidentally.
A group of animals has found their new home in Central Florida after being rescued during a trafficking investigation. The Brevard Zoo sent us these photos of 9 Gulf Coast box turtles that moved in recently. The zoo says the animals were found by law enforcement bound and taped inside knotted socks and shipping boxes. They were set to be shipped from New York to Hong Kong. The turtles were initially brought into a zoo in Rhode Island for care before moving to the Brevard Zoo, where they now live in an outdoor habitat with 8 other box turtles who were also rescued from wildlife trafficking. The turtles will eventually be released back into the wild. More news to come here on News 6, including where Central Florida lawmakers, were they getting paid during the shutdown?
Some say they would not accept a paycheck, but up next, News 6 investigator Mike DeForest dives into the numbers to find out. Plus, endangered whales off of Merritt Island have experts warning boaters what you need to know and why it is crucially important.
You're watching News 6 at 10. We are live on a Thursday night covering Leesburg, Dr. Phillips, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
No work, no pay during the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Many Central Florida members of Congress promised they would not accept the paycheck.
News 6 investigator Mike DeForest began asking questions about that even before the shutdown ended and those checks started rolling out.
During the government shutdown, many members of Congress, including several from Central Florida, took to social media suggesting it was unfair that they were still getting paid while others were not. After the shutdown ended, we wanted to find out what local members of Congress did with their pay. Most U.S. senators and representatives are paid $174,000 a year. That means they earned roughly $20,500 during the 43-day shutdown. Under the U.S. Constitution, senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services, so lawmakers continued to receive a paycheck. Republican Senator Ashley Moody says she donated her shutdown salary to the Crisis Center of Tampa. Republican Senator Rick Scott has always donated all of his government salary to charity, even when he served as Florida's governor. Republican Congressman Daniel Webster kept his government salary during the shutdown. However, like he does every year, Webster's office says he plans to deliver a check to the Bureau of Fiscal Service to voluntarily roll back his salary to 2008 levels, which is a refund of about $4,700. The office of Republican Mike Herodopoulos says he reached out to House administration and requested that his pay be paused until the shutdown was complete. Herodopoulos later received back pay. Republican Kat Cammack previously indicated that every single member of Congress should be withholding their pay, but she has not told us whether she took back pay. Democrat Maxwell Frost did not reject his pay. The congressman is not independently wealthy, his office told us, saying those who did reject congressional pay are simply virtue signaling. Democrat Darren Soto and Republicans Corey Mills and Randy Fine did not respond to our questions about shutdown pay. Representative Fine has co-sponsored a bill that would automatically withhold lawmakers' pay in the future if Congress fails to pass a budget. That bill has not been approved. Mike DeForest, News 6.
An alert tonight if you plan on boating off the coast of Brevard County. A North Atlantic right whale and her newborn calf have been spotted just off the Merritt Island coast.
So why is it important? Well, these whales are critically endangered. It's estimated there are only about 380 North Atlantic right whales left, like in the world. And because they're very dark and you don't have dorsal fins to see, it's really tricky to catch them out there. Remember, the moms and babies hang out near the water's surface. That's why it's so important for boaters to really slow down and pay attention. An easy way to remember, please go slow for those below. Boat strikes present one of the biggest dangers to right whales, which are critically important to our ecosystem.
All large whales, including North Atlantic right whales, actually fertilize our ocean basins. So every other breath you take, that oxygen that you're taking in is from the ocean. And the whales fertilize the tiny plants at the surface of the ocean that create that oxygen.
Calving season runs through mid-April.
That is when moms give birth in the warmer waters like off our coast. So this mom will likely stay off our coast while the calf adds a layer of blubber and gains strength to migrate back to the North Atlantic.
That's what I do this time of year as well. Remember, it is illegal to approach a right whale within 500 yards.
Give them their space. All right, we want to check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, who is tracking our weather for us tonight. We had some rain earlier today, some much needed rain.
Yeah.
Radar looking pretty quiet right now.
Very nice. Matt completely said exactly what I was going to say, too. Don't need much of it tonight. It is a warm night out there. It's a little humid out there. Let's a live look with our radar right now, scanning our skies. The last little bit of shower activity is pushing back out over the Atlantic right now. Right, most of us are dry. There could be some areas of mist or drizzle out there that the radar can't see, some of those low-hanging clouds containing some of that. You can track any downpour that gets going with the free News 6 weather app, again, giving us a nice clean sweep right now. The radar is taking to the rest of tonight. Again, really not much happening. We are going to keep things mainly cloudy. That will also help to keep us very warm overnight. There's 9 o'clock on your Friday morning. I think we're waking up to clouds once again. But then you will notice gradually as we go through the afternoon and certainly the evening, those clouds eroding as some drier air comes in. That's a cold front. It doesn't bring us much cooler air, but it does bring us drier air. That's 11 o'clock on your Friday evening, tomorrow evening. And again, we are looking very, very nice. That is going to set the stage for an awesome weekend and a very nice stretch leading up to Christmas Day. Downtown Orlando, light Orlando, delivering Hope Skycam this evening. Air temperatures back to the low 70s. The breeze is out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. That southerly breeze combined again with the clouds overnight leading to this, and it's going to lead to a very warm morning when you wake up tomorrow. Right around 70, Kissimmee, Ocala. We're at 64. Palm Coast, We're checking in at 67. Now here's a look at tomorrow, which will feature, again, a very warm start. We have high pressure off towards our south and east. That's pumping in some of the warmth at the surface, that southerly wind. There is our next cold front, again, helping to draw in some moisture from the Gulf. Eventually, again, as we showed you with future radar, going to get that nice clean sweep. But out ahead of it, it is going to be kind of muggy, kind of warm tomorrow, and a little gray, pushing the upper 60s to start in the villages. We're at 68, 69 degrees in Kissimmee, back to St. Cloud. Holopah, we're in the upper 60s as well. Rain chances after a few stray sprinkles to start your morning. Most of us will be dry. Rain chances go back to 0% as we increase our sunshine through the afternoon. High temperatures in Mount Dora tomorrow, back to right around 79. Cocoa Beach, we are checking in at 80 degrees. The warmth is going to continue into the weekend. Just a couple of clouds around on Saturday. I think Sunday will feature a few extra clouds, but we will still keep things on the warmer side. And that's going to be the case going forward into next week. Sunday, by the way, the first day of winter, it's going to not feel like it at all, pushing 80 again on Sunday. And then we're just chilling in the upper 70s all the way through Christmas Eve. Thursday, Christmas Day, we're back to 77 after a start in the upper 50s and lower 60s on Christmas morning, guys.
All right, not too bad. Thank you. Well, it's an annual tradition in Cocoa Beach.
That's right. A group of Santas are checking their lists and surfing it twice. Up next, the group of surfers getting ready for a festive tradition on the beach.
We started surfing Santas back in 2009. My son and I went surfing. He was an elf, I was Santa. Just a little family event. Surfing Santas makes people smile. So when we do an event like this and it gets on the news and people see it, we create smiles.
You know it's cold, right?
Yeah, it's very cold. Not used to it, but should be fun.
Just doing a little surfing. Waves are big.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good, bro. We're almost at Surfing Santa. It's the best day of the year. I got a wetsuit on under this.
Okay, so you prepared?
Yep.
And so being the #1 ranked surfer in the world, how does that feel?
You know, it's a cross I have to bear. You know, once you're on top, it's so hard to stay there.
I am the CFO of Surfing Santas, Chief Fun Officer, CFO. Surfing Santas is the happiest day on earth, I've been told. It's turned into this really fun day on the beach. Nobody's in a bad mood. Well, there's a couple Grinches, but we expect that.
And it just brings the community together. And that's part of the reason why Orlando Health is a part of this, is to be a part of the community.
You know I have to ask, is this anything like football?
Absolutely not, because when you fall here, you fall in water. Unless you're doing the shore break barreling thing and falling on the sands, then it's like football.
I believe Surfing Santas is bringing joy to the world. And I couldn't be prouder.
Cocoa Beach Surfing Santas!
You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
It's free to download to your smart TV or streaming device. Have a great night.
Good night.